For people who can't talk or communicate because of an injury or stroke, their own body can be a prison. What if you could type on a computer screen just by thinking of the letters? Sound impossible, right? Researchers are now able to do that in the lab. Doctors at Mayo Clinic say someday patients locked in isolation of their condition may be freed by the power of thought.
Little metallic sensors that are measuring the electrical activity from the brain.
Translating brain waves into words on a screen for people who can't communicate.
They know what they want to say, they can still think about what they want to do, but they can't express it. And this would be a technology to allow people like that to be able to communicate with the world.
People with Lou Gehrig's disease, people who've had a stroke, or people with spinal cord injuries. Mayo Clinic Dr. Jerry Shih and Dr. Dean Krasinski from the University of North Florida demonstrate the technology on this volunteer. The volunteer concentrates on a flashing letter on the computer monitor. This creates an electrical change in her brain, which is sent to a computer. The computer program translates that brain signal into the letter on which she was focusing, allowing her to spell and type just by looking and thinking about the letters.
I spelled the word goal, G-O-A-L.
Right now, they're translating brainwaves into letters on a screen, but Dr. Shih envisions a day when your thoughts will do much more.
It's certainly in the realm of possibility in the next several years that your brainwave can control an external device that's going to walk over to that pencil, pick it up, and move it in a way to write something.
Dr. Shih says the potential is tremendous for transforming how we humans interact with our environment, just with our brain waves. For Medical Edge, I'm Vivian Williams.
And now a recap of the headlines. Airlines to provide hassle-free travel to the BVI through San Juan. Government will be working overtime to strengthen the tourism sector. Surveillance Act for evidential purposes in criminal proceedings gets introduced in the House. Deputy Premier gives new timeline for airport expansion project. Senior students prepare for career path. No plastic bag initiative seeks to reduce plastic waste in the territory. No flu vaccines available as the BVI records increased influenza cases. And the Kata players and friends join 1 billion Rising global campaign. In news from the Caribbean, former Turks and Caicos Premier released on bail as the UK has another 60 days to complete its extradition request. And CARICOM urged to review visa regimes to lure more visitors to the region. Remember to visit jtvlive.net for more news, JTV's television programs and events now playing on JTV. We welcome your questions and comments. Email us at jtvnews@hotmail.com. I'm Ino Soman. Thank you for watching. We now leave you with highlights from the opening of the Festival of Arts.
Wardrobe provided by Umi Fashions.
There are two things which I see happening here with this Festival of Arts. One is that when we observe what our people can do, both from the paintings back there, from the dance that these young people did this afternoon, we begin to feel more pride of being British Virgin Islanders. And this is something that I've spoken about during my last day at basically BVI Pride. I think it's important for us to be proud ourselves as BVI landers, because if we do that, then we'll want to make sure that our country looks the way we want it to look and is presented the way we want it to present. And so what I see here this afternoon is part of that continuing effort for us to be proud of BVI, for us to be proud BVI landers. Apart from developing national pride, one of the things that this Festival of Arts will do is help to expose the various artists to both the other residents of the BVI and to visitors. And this will be able to essentially encourage those artists and help them to display the works and help them to be able to sell the works to us and also to visitors, and help make it a profitable experience for them.
The arts represent an opportunity for our cultural traditions to be preserved in song, painting, and other artistic replications. We not only depend on our historians to document the happenings of our time, but our artists have an opportunity to capture the tone of the day in their work. The Fungi song, Ella Gift, reminds us of the extremes Virgin Islanders had to go through to share an outlawed product in neighboring US Virgin Islands. The paintings of artists such as Reuben Vanderpool and Joseph Hodge gives us the opportunity to vividly remember scenes of years past. The art allows us to capture our history and showcase it through the eyes of those that lived it. Those images, songs, works of art are important for posterity and reflection as our society matures. Art can be expressed in many different ways. Throughout it all, it's important to understand the meaning and intention behind each piece of the artist shares his or her depiction of a snapshot of our time and their interpretation of our issues. I see this festival as an opportunity to allow us to continue to celebrate the work of our artists in the Virgin Islands.
Today, we have come together to tell the Virgin Islands story through art, a story we often fail to tell, though we know it so very well. The story of who we are, things we were taught, things we like to do. Our story of doing much with little, of sharing and caring, of the way we live, my son. My son? This is a great exposure for creative minds, a wonderful showcase of works here this afternoon. And I want to say to you that it is really not my doing. I feel it is God's doing. I take this opportunity to encourage all other gifted persons in the territory to let your light shine. Nurture your talent, your God-given talent, whatever it may be, and continue to proudly and confidently share your blessing with the world.